our longtime listeners might remember that 2 weeks ago we broke the story about the possible Facebook YouTube ban coming into effect. We broke that story, and I think the angst we expressed on air was enough for that threat to be rescinded by the powers that be. But we didn't talk about Twitter. What happened with that?
Well, apparently Twitter is now banned, as we knew it would happen, but...
And how's that going to affect? How's that going to affect the expat, the run-of-the-mill, everyday, salt-of-the-earth expat?
Well, the thing is, we've all seen before the previous bans on YouTube and realized that they were not very effective. One cannot just ban the internet and hope it'll go away. For example, an action like this reminds me of my dear, dear, dear friend, Emperor Caligula.
And before we get started into this analogy, he's been working on this all day, so don't change the channel immediately. Let him finish, and then you're free to change the channel. But give him a fair listen.
Your support is highly appreciated, Michael. Anyways, Emperor Caligula was a Roman empire, and he decided to declare war on the Greek god Poseidon.
Are you sure it was the Greek god Poseidon and not the Roman god Neptune?
No, Greek god Poseidon.
Okay.
Well, anyways, in this war, he decided to order his soldiers to go to the sea and start stabbing the sea with their spears.
Did you say sabbing the sea or stabbing the sea?
Stabbing the sea.
Sorry, I must have gotten lost over the airwaves. Go ahead.
Mic glitch. Anyways, my point is, we've seen how that turned out because people still ended up worshipping Poseidon for many years to come. Now, the same thing is with the internet. You cannot just declare war on the internet and be like, I will abolish Twitter. It's not going to happen.
Well, what would happen to a person who would dare to do what you say cannot be done? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, people are going to change their DSs and find them.
Nintendo DSs? Or the DNS? You mean the DNS?
DNS.
Okay. All right.
Well, my point is there are many ways around a block or a ban that it would have little impact.
Okay. All right. Okay. So how are you gonna? That's not exactly the analogy you described to me. You basically just told us a little something about a moment in Roman history, and said it was like that. You got anything more?
Well, my point is it's ineffective. Of course, you're gonna have something that'll annoy you, but you can't just declare war on an inanimate object and be like, "I will destroy this."
Well, I think let's go back to Caligula.
Okay.
Obviously, you authority, a historical authority. I know authority on the history of this subject. Let me apologize for that. Tell me more about what was the motivation for Caligula ordering the attack on. And you're absolutely sure it was the Greek god Poseidon.
It was the Greek god Poseidon,
okay,
not the Roman god Neptune.
Well, I'm glad Neptune managed to duck that. But so what was the situation?
He was batshit crazy and decided Poseidon had to go.
Yeah. Okay. And how long did it take you to set up this this anecdote and analogy?
About 50 seconds.
Well, that's good. All right. That's better than I would expect it for a 50 seconds worth of investment.
I was just reading through history a couple weeks back. And
for 50 seconds?
No, I was reading through history, and today I was thinking about the ban, and I was like,
Well, I recently read about history. Yeah. And I don't know the details of it. I know that one line that he sent some soldiers to go stab the ocean.
Well, no, he also did a couple other weird things as well, and his reign was only 4 years.
Only? I don't know. What's the average for a Roman emperor? It actually, I think, was pretty short.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing from what little I know.
It all ends in the same way, but it is generally pretty short.
Okay. So what else did Caligula do? Let's, like I said, we got this special 2-hour segment. This was supposed to be really short, but I think we can stretch this out. Tell us more. What other things did you recently read about in the history of Caligula?
Well, Caligula was originally elected by his peers for his antics, but they quickly wore thin.
Elected?
Roman election. Well, he was supported by his colleagues.
Well, okay, all right. I mean, again, you read this, so
Okay.
I'm
He
not
was
gonna.
supported.
It's obviously in a book that the emperors of Rome were elected.
No,
you know, in the
supported
famous Roman
by
elections.
his colleagues. He had actual support in the beginning due
Okay.
to his sense of humor and his antics.
Had nothing to do with his biological lineage, right?
That doesn't give you support. That just gives you the original authority.
That's a very clear distinction that you've
Yeah.
made. Okay, so well, that's still. What else did he do that you read about that caught your eye?
Well, what did he do? Apparently, he did a lot of double dealings in public that started to piss people off. He knocked up his sister, and then he declared war on the Greek god Poseidon.
And I guess that was the final straw, right?
That was the final
Poseidon
straw.
supporters.
Well, apparently he brought back a war chest full of worthless shells, and his soldiers kind of got upset with that.
He did what now?
He brought back the war chest full of worthless shells. The war chest is what chests that the Romans fill with gold once they defeat an enemy. It's booty, spoils of war
Okay.
that get divided up
Who-
among the legions.
Who filled it?
I have no idea. Apparently he did.
Well, that's a hands-on leader. I can't imagine why he would have lost support. But that's all you know about Caligula. Just he impregnated his sister. He ordered an attack on
The sea.
the kingdom of Poseidon.
Yeah.
Neptune again got away.
Scott
I guess he was neutral. I guess Neptune's always neutral, right? I never see them involved in any kind of fights nowadays.
No, not really.
Any interplanetary issues. Neptune's always, like Switzerland. I guess Neptune, you could honestly say Neptune is like the Switzerland of the solar
ancient
system.
gods.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, well, that's enough. That's enough history. So anyway, yeah, Twitter's banned. I don't use it. Andrew, you don't use it, but now you're a little annoyed that you don't have it.
Well, it's one of those situations where I did not like Twitter. I could not see the point of Twitter, but I like the option of not liking something. Now it's banned. I feel compelled to use it, compelled to try it, just because the option is gone.
But you said you like to have the option to not like something. So you don't have the option to not like it now?
Well, no, just because I have the option to not like it, I do not have the option of not using it. Do you understand what I mean?
I can't imagine how that could be any more clear. So, all right. So that's
I still don't like it, but I feel compelled to use it now.
all right. Well, that's news from Turkey.
So apparently, Twitter now has a whole bunch of new followers. If a lot of people have the mindset of me.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's what I was thinking. It would make it more popular. There's,
Exactly.
it already had its regular users. Now it has the contrarians who would only use Twitter if it was banned, and that's got to be a pretty significant segment of the social media market.